What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we put the real in reality or whatever. We
Period.
are here with the wonderful James Jones of Survivor 43. James, how you doing?
I am doing well. I can't roll my tongue, Like I was gonna try to join in. I can't do any of that. Like I got D's in Spanish every year. Like I'm just my tongue. I don't roll it. I was like,
You can say purr.
see, no, it's not how it works. It's not how it works.
A for effort for sure.
No, but everything's good. I'm here in Philly, chilling, having a good time. About to go out tonight. Next Halloween party. So excited.
Okay.
That's good. That's a good day. That's a good night. This is what it sounds like.
I hope.
All right, James. I do want to ask you first about your experience on Survivor because it's been a year. It's been a year? It's been a year. Yes, since you was on Survivor 43. And now you've had time to watch two other seasons, a season and a half after your season. So you kind of get to see how it is to watch it after being on. How does that feel? How does it feel being off, being on the island and now being off? Just talk to us about that.
I think you kind of are able, you look at the game differently. One, you just kind of got out of it. And once you see how the sauce is made, you kind of can't watch it the same. And just knowing the players and knowing their personalities a little bit, especially with 44, just knowing a lot of them, you kind of were looking at their personalities and watching the game. So It's a little different when you're in the community. And with 45, I kind of met some of them, but I tried to kind of keep my distance just so I can enjoy kind of watching without knowing them as people. But my experience with Survivor, I think was really good. I was worried kind of what the edit was going to really say. I think everybody's worried about that. But I feel like they showed the story. I wish they could have showed some more things that was happening on the island. I feel like a lot of it was they were just kind of giving backstories that was great, but they weren't showing people doing stuff. It was just kind of people just saying, okay, they got a good relationship. They're good socially. And you can see with these 90-minute episodes where you can go in and see people putting in the work in those little conversations and why people are social threats. Why you can see why Caleb is a social threat because you can see him having these little conversations and I can see why people looking at that. In our season, we didn't really have that much kind of leeway, which is fine. But I had a great time. I mean, the community is dope. I had a blast playing until I got blindsided. I was having fun out there. I was having a blast. And everybody with the show is super professional. So I had no arguments there, but I had a blast doing it. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I would leave my job, say peace, and I would go out there mainly to lose the weight, but other than that, just to get that million. So
I'm not gonna lie, I've always thought that. I was like, don't even put me on Survivor to play the game. Just put me out there to lose the weight. I feel like put me out there for 30 days with no rice, make me run challenges. I'll walk out really fit.
So we were they were mad at us. Our island had food. We ate every single day.
Really?
Yes. That was one of the unknown things. We found this potato type plant. So that's what Cassidy and Gio were fighting over. We had so much to think about it. We were fighting over how to chop up a potato. That's how much we had of it. That was really the argument. Not we only had two. So we had that, a lime tree, coconut. So we really just were on the grind to give food, but I still lost 30 pounds. So
yeah,
what it is. That's so good.
That's interesting, especially with the new era saying how they want basically y'all to starve on the island. They barely want to give y'all rice and
that was just our tribe. Everybody else starved.
That's even worse.
Everybody else starved. It was just our tribe. We had snacks going into challenges. It was great.
Okay, I did want to ask you though, because you talked about your blind side, and when you were blindsided, it was the what's it called? The double tribal or the two different tribe twist. And they've been adding a lot of new twists this new era. We see it with the journeys. We see it with those splitting up the tribes during merge. How do you feel about the twist? You fuck with it or you not?
I'm cool with twists, right? What I didn't like or I don't like in the new era is you get to a merge and now you're building relationships to merge. And then everything you do is undone for 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
No matter and so that makes people play conservatively. I think if you know that no matter what you do in the beginning of the merge, it's gonna come down to a split 5. We're going to try to have as many loose loop relationships as possible.
Trending articles.
Ooh.
Oh.
My bad.
No, it's all good. But so like I feel like I like the twist. I feel like anytime players have agency and have to make choices, I'm with that. When it's kind of just like stuff that's done like a rock draw, like make us choose who we're going to play against. Like make us make decisions. Like I don't like when it because that builds tension. We're at a challenge and it's somebody I'm partnered with, and I don't choose them because they're not athletic. You know what I mean? I gotta go talk to them at camp about that. They may get mad if I'm. It's like I feel like that kind of is what I would enjoy because that's instead of like a rock draw where you're kind of just at the whim of rocks, which is fine. But I'd rather just make it a schoolyard pick and let's really go at it.
Yeah, I used to like, and that's good that you're bringing that up because it's still a social game at the end of the day. And I used to like even when they would pick tribes, like when they would make the players pick their tribes or a captain or choose somebody to be voted out or whatever. Like it was interesting on those seasons. I always think of what was it, Blood versus Water, where Rupert had to offer himself up for his wife instead of her getting voted out. Stuff like that, where they're making the tribe decide these things within themselves. That's always the better thing, honestly.
I think I like One World, and I wonder if they're ever going to bring that back, like for like even a couple of like days. Like
you like the idea of them all on the same beach?
I think it adds so many dynamics. If you have,
I really like that.
I feel like because you kind of like you're looking like, yo, is this person playing for the end game? Like, could you have your tribe that you're worried about? Like, because that's who's voting, right? Your tribe is voting, right? That's your tribe is voting. But at the end of the day, you also are they like so they're trying to be tribe strong? Are they trying to build relationships with other people? And like not for a long time, but like I think like doing that is a good little thought experiment where say it's not even a challenge. Like that's like the reward challenge. Everybody's on the beach and they're just searching for stuff to see like what little relationships could possibly happen, like from a game mechanic standpoint. Like imagine the key thing with everybody when it's like around this.
Everybody on the same tribe or everybody on the same beach, and that's still happening. That is interesting because the idols were interesting on that season. Because wasn't it like you would find the other tribe's idol or something like that? Stuff like that is pretty interesting, and they haven't done that other than that season.
Yeah, I mean, like even like going to being able to go to other camps just for like if you like when they rode the boat to the other camp. And they went over there. Yeah. Like I feel like that type of stuff, is fun. Like, and as long as it's good TV, it's good TV.
But it's fun if they show it because there's stuff they have not been showing these last couple of seasons, which is why I do like the 90-minute. But that's
even with that, they didn't show Kendra's visit to the camp. They didn't. Show, so I think now as we getting more behind, you're seeing how much like that is edited in a good or bad way. But then you compare that to Big Brother, where now we're looking at that and we're looking at it seeing the live feeds, and now we're seeing the show. We're seeing the biggest disconnect sometimes between what's on the live feeds and the show. The same thing can be true to Survivor, and I just want people to think that when they're like having all these, like they're saying something, like, they're so super strong about something. I'm like, if you look at the Big Brother episodes versus the live feeds, you would think a lot of different things. And the same thing with Survivor, not this, no shade or anything to anybody. That's just kind of how it is.
Mm. Do you think a lot of your game was cut out, like because of the edit?
I think the stuff I did was cut out, like from an interpersonal standpoint. But I think the edit got across that people saw me as a very dangerous, strong player, much to my demise. I got a lot of credit for a lot of stuff, but part of that was just kind of the way the tribe dynamics just looked and how we were so dominant in the beginning, where it looked bad if the other tribe. We were beating by like 20, 30 minutes for each challenge, and it was kind of just like,
So. No, I really loved you that season, especially like the you and kind of Carla duo. Do you think like was that kind of like an end game for you? Because she was kind of dangerous.
All right, so here, like I remember, I thought they were going to show this, but I went to Carla like, yo, please don't sham record me. Like, don't sham record me. Like, I think that was like literally, it's cool. Like, I'm like, yo, we're good. Like in my head, I was thinking, at the end of the day, like if they're going to come for me, they're going to come through Carla. Like it's impossible for them to get through Carla. So I'm like, just let me know, like if they're coming. And the way Sammy executed at the end, like, and then everything that happened with that day with Owen, the tribal council stuff they didn't show, and it was just kind of like where I'm in my head battling. Like, I don't perceive as a super angry person when I'm not even bothered by what's happening. Like my voice doesn't get raised. I'm like, yo, like, what you want me to do? Like, present a plan to me. I was like, yo, I don't want to be this big villain person that like is bullying somebody where I'm like, I'm just literally chilling, like I'm not doing anything. So I think I was worried, like in some of those things, I just kind of missed some of my cues that day. But I mean, they showed that like I had pretty good control in Coco. I had pretty good control in the merge. You know, Jesse, like Jesse is a beast, man. Like everybody was like, I want to play with Jesse. No, it's kind of like no one wanted to eliminate Jesse, or people just didn't look at the votes. Where it's like, yo, I can't be controlling all of this. Like the first flip was, you know, Jesse and Cody was the first flip, and because I was working with them, I'm not going to blow the game up. But y'all looking at me, but I don't have those numbers.
Yeah.
Who are y'all planning with? So like that was the thing on the island where I feel like I was trying to make those arguments, but they weren't working clearly.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like, and we also saw you play like a lot with kind of Cassidy. You were like the sole vote for her at the end. But so a lot of people, the right side of history, because a lot of people don't like the game to win. I mean, I'm indifferent about it at this point, but like kind of out defend your point in that, because you know you stand 10 toes behind your vote.
Oh, I mean, so again, from my perspective, I look at it from Cass. I feel like Cass was somebody that was targeted throughout the merge. Like whether people like thought she was playing a good game or a bad game, she was definitely targeted. And playing the game targeted is way different. With the target on your back is way different than playing the game where like no one is like looking at you like as a threat. Like I felt like I was like a walking threat just by basically being like me. I was like one of the biggest dudes out there. Like unbeknownst to me, I was like one of the older dudes. I'm sitting there like, yo. So I was the big threat, and Cass was considered a threat too. First, she was catching votes. She was the target of votes, and no one took her out. Also, I feel like she found her strategy was get behind shields, and I feel like the thing that she did wrong was just maybe claim some things that she didn't really have control of. But that was because the game that everybody was playing. Like when people are making bet, like thinking they're in control, that's because other people are playing good games. So I'm not going to like ding you super heavily for someone playing a better game than you in that aspect when you have 3 challenge wins, when you were a target in the merge. People thought you were a threat and they wanted to get you out the game, and you actually survived. And I thought other people up there, she played hardest and she won. She was a target and she was considered a legit player. And we worked together, so she ain't no blood on her hands on my back. I have no problems with Cass as baby sis on the island. That was number one, day one, like one of my tightest alliances. So she got my vote because ain't no earn in Survivor. No one earns anything. There's no deserves in it. It's who gets the votes. Point blank period.
And did you go in knowing that like it was gonna be that one sided kind of?
I had no idea what was gonna happen. Like literally, I'm thinking in Pondy. I'm in Pondy, like, and as stuff is coming down, I'm knowing information that I have in my head because like it's an information vacuum until people are coming out. Like what people know what's happening. So I'm thinking, I'm like, yo, it's about to be. This is about to happen. Like this is about to happen. And it was like, I'm like, oh, all right, cool. But I had no idea like where like folks are gonna land. Because a lot of things are jury management too. Like people downplay jury management, but if you're able to go tell people before votes, yo, and maybe you, or this is like how you get on the right, like if you're the person that's doing that and no one's calling you on it, that's good gameplay. Exactly. Like everybody wants to do it, but can you do it and get away with it?
So that kind of brings me to season 45 because we're going into the merge now. We're about to enter into the merge, and there have been some people. Emily and Caleb were on Lulu Tribe. It's basically decimated. They're going into merge, just them two as the numbers. Emily was targeted early on. She snuck her way to merge, and you was mentioning people getting targeted. That's a good reason to win. Do you think? Who do you think are the contenders just going into merge right now? We don't got a lot of info because merge is a lot. But right now, who are you feeling good about?
So my theory is you want to be on the bottom of some of the majority alliances going into the merge.
What do you mean? Because that's crazy. What you mean you want to be?
I think I agree with that.
Okay. Let's go back to 43. Okay. Coco comes into the merge. Who was the perceived person at the bottom? Where did they go?
Cassidy.
And where did she get to?
Well,
okay, Baca. Who were the 2 perceived people on the bottom?
The twos at the end. Okay, but okay.
Okay, all right.
Okay, but wasn't that like
go
a
back to 42? Marianne,
oh,
who's on the
damn.
bottom? Marianne, who's on the bottom?
Marianne.
Yeah.
Erica.
Okay, you got some evidence.
Erica and Heather. My bad. Do I need to keep Xander? Do I need to
You good. Okay, but it's kind of like no one wants to. It's hard to do that. It's hard to execute. You know what I mean?
And that's what makes Jam and Carson and them great, is because it's hard to be at the bottom and just sit there and just like remain like active enough that people are giving you credit, but not active enough that people are like, yo, you're fighting too much for your life. And you're just subtly just making those moves. Like it's tough to know you're at the bottom of something and be patient enough that everybody's going to start trying to take out big threats. So you just gotta sit back and chill. That's tough to do because your name is always going to be on the chopping block.
Do you feel like currently in 45? Do you feel like when it comes to what the heck is the name of the tribes? The blue tribe and the red tribe.
Bello and Reba.
Bello and Reba.
I don't know the Jones either.
It's five. It's 5 Bello and it's 6 Reba going into merge. Do you feel like that means Caleb and Emily should probably side with Bello, or is it just not that one-sided? Do you even think it's going to be tribal lines at this one? Because the other ones it has been.
So this is like I thought we get to the merge. You're supposed to say it's a forget tribes. Like literally, I remember going like merge, like all right, tribes is that. And everybody's still talking this tribe stuff. Like I don't know how to break it up. I don't know like what it is, but it's like I know because Carla probably wanted to do some backstabbing. I know I want to do some backstabbing. We wanted to get in there.
It was so tribal.
And it's so tribal, so it's really tricky to navigate, and it becomes a kind of threat whack-a-mole, or everybody hops on the vote, because that just makes sense what to do. So you get to the point where you actually have to make decisions. But what we talking about again? My stuff, I forgot what we talking about.
No, it's okay because I was gonna say I do feel like the tribe swap might help encourage that because we hadn't had a tribe swap in this new era until this season, so it might help blur the tribal lines going into merge. Because I was thinking, there's 6 Reba and 5 Bello, but that might not matter since it's been a tribe swap. But I think it still could. You know what I'm saying?
What I would do is I feel like the game should be 27 days or whatever, 28 maybe. And you give people, when that merge comes, you give them like 2 reward challenges of choosing each other in different ways.
Okay.
And then so you have some more time on the beach at the merge to kind of break those things up, but give them some choices to kind of, mess with their lives a little bit, in that dying period. So you can have some time to break that stuff up. Because, like when you had those one day, we waking up, we got a challenge, and we going to try. Like that's ain't that much time in between to change, change people's minds. You know what I'm saying? Like you try to
I understand. And that's because they're like super fast in these nowadays. And I feel like the speed is like you're saying it, like the speed of it all, it's hard for people to like move throughout alliances and shift things because it's just so fast. You gotta hurry up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like I think the one thing that Caleb only thing I think is really good to understand is like some people can hit the beach, right, and they're able to just hit that like they're home, like it's like it's just any situation you walk into. Like you walk into the club, that person that walks in, boom, you know where the juice is,
right?
Survivor's the same way. When you people know where the juice is. Like they know that, and that's the hardest thing about it because you want to say but you're in your first you thin slice like that boy got it. Like people like talking to him. He got that swag. Whereas like she looks good, or like Dwight. So like Dwight's like 6'2". I'm like, Dwight a hooper, yo. I'm like, it's like how you present yourself is just kind of what it is, Like it's tough to kind of overcome that. I think it's the one thing you don't really notice, and like how like presence and your size really matters when people are trying to assess you.
Let's talk a little bit about Caleb because in the pre-merge, Caleb and Sabaya seemingly was good. I
didn't know we was getting into this next.
Caleb and Sabaya started beefing. Sabaya started beefing with him, and then Caleb started beefing back. And then on the other tribe, Katura
and Bruce is beefing.
All right, yeah. So this is a part of the cookout. You know what I'm saying? Where the cookout, I feel like I get it. I understand it. Because like you want to build, but it's kind of when you're out there, it's the elements. It's like you eventually be yourself, and I think she's doing a great job of hiding it, except for when Katara wasn't hiding it, but like she does a good job because Bruce just picked up on it, and so she was doing a good job managing it, and with the shot at Caleb, I feel like that's just kind of what happens in Survivor, where everybody's assessing each other, right? When Survivor's I'm hella talented, I'm great, you know what I'm saying, but everybody know him. Like I'm a solid player. But then you have LeBron James. Like I'm not like he got skills others don't have. So like you have to make that decision. Like I think do I want to eliminate that person, or do I want to use that person as a shield because you're trying to mitigate options if they can get more options than you, And I think it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate the way that Tribe kind of went down with everything that happens with it with the player dynamics, because I feel like everything would be switched up. But I love that Emily's still here.
Yeah.
She's playing a great game. I feel like she is what happens, like kind of like with Jack. I hate being cross, trying to, show.
Yeah.
But as you get accustomed to kind of, the camp life, the game, you start getting your feet under you. You start being able to think things through and make better, more objective decisions. Those first 2-3 days, it's tough. Like, you're really adapting to the elements, and I feel like a lot of times people think that because they're really good, like good players, can sometimes just like hop off and they're able to adapt. And it may not be that person isn't a good player; they just took them longer to adapt. So by day 8 or 9, they're as good as that person that just naturally is adapting better. I think that happens a lot especially in Survivor. People catch up.
So, who are like some of your favorites so far? Like who you're looking at? Do you think could potentially win this season?
Ooh, I mean, the way everything's going, I feel like Emily just has shields galore in front of her. Where like you name every single person,
right?
Like in every single person, like, do you want to give her this person or Emily? I feel like she has the advantage of, having that advantage. And unless people start targeting people like that, like who's taking my spot at the end as opposed to who I can beat at the end, like who do people are? And I feel like she has a good chance to go deep. Caleb, if he can get past threat whack-a-mole, meaning like if he can get past this mergy situation, like if he can get past it, like if he can do that, because he's going to be a top tier target. He may be some collateral damage. You never know. Like they try to do a split vote for him, Emily. Like, all right, who cares about this? Let's just get one of these people out. Like, like they should have did Tika. Like, you gotta go to war, but let's leave 3 of them in. No, like,
right.
Like, someone's going to flip inside. You can figure it out. Have faith that there's going to be a crack. Hopefully, you're on the right side of that crack. You don't need these other people. So, Couture, I love Couture. I love Couture. Like, I really do. Like, she's somebody that I would love to play with. Like, I would see Usher giving, like, talking about players. Like, when you can look at somebody and you don't gotta say nothing, but you know exactly what they're thinking. Yeah, I feel like we're on the same page. I don't know how. I feel like D and J want to make too much moves, and I like where Julie's positioned in Reba. Where I don't think anybody's looking at Julie like, she's running stuff in Reba, and I don't know if she's running stuff. I know she's influential with every single person there, but she's not gonna be the target. Yeah. So, if she can keep those shields in front of her. I love that D still wanted to vote out CJ.
You like that she wanted to, or you like that she did? Because she actually
did. Like, I wish I had the opportunity to do something like that.
Because Sean was ready to quit, man.
Like, I wanted to do villainous stuff. I just didn't have the opportunity to. Yeah. I'd be like, for real, like we got to do. Let's leave you going,
even though he wanted to go. Let's talk about the quitters, because Sean quit. Sean quit. Anna quit. How do you feel? Because Jeff, he's doing his little look, but in the past he used to. So you gonna leave?
Jeff used to really go in on some quitters.
But he's kind of coy about it now. But how you feel?
I feel like I just feel bad for the players because, like, this is a game about chance, right? So, like, if all things being equal, like Emily goes home, let's say Hannah, like I think Brandon and Sabaya are maybe still in the game. Right. Like things just switch up differently. Like Brandon comes in, and Brandon is in. And so I just feel like it just. I hate to see it, just because people do, because it always screws somebody. It's always good to somebody and always screws somebody, and that's Survivor in a nutshell. But you have to respect people and how they feel about their ability to compete and get through the game. Like you have to respect that too at the same time. So like you have to know yourself. And I don't wish any ill will. It's just it's sad in a sense, but like I get it, it's tough. Like people think like it's sweet up there. Like my friends even say like, yo Jay, what they give you, yo? I'm like nothing. Like
nothing.
I was looking for the cheat code. I'm out there like, all right, yo. I get off the boat. I'm like, okay, all right. Like, wait, like, damn, like,
yeah,
like they give you this blunt thing called a blunt knife that's not even a real machete. Like people has a machete. He had like a little rusted knife. Like it was just left on the island. Like it wasn't even a fresh one. Like yo, our flint was halfway like old, yo. Like it wasn't even a new flint. Like no, like it's real out there. So it's tough. And they didn't have any food, and that's part of it, yo. Like you gotta actually survive. And I feel like people downplay the survivor part of surviving. But the reason why Coco was strong is we always had fire, we always had food. The Papaya Boys was always getting some food, whether like that stuff is important. And when you forget about that, the elements take a toll. If they have food, Hannah would have maybe still be there.
Yeah, fire.
So like that stuff matters. Like it's bad, but you gotta survive too. Like
that's true. That's very true.
I never understand that. It's interesting because like, I mean, you're right. Like we're watching every week, but like, I mean, when the episode is over, like, I mean, when it's being filmed, y'all are out there, and me and Pharaoh was talking about that off the podcast. Like the downtime must really be crazy because you're basically just starving and potentially cold. Like I just feel like I don't like.
Unless you got Ryan on your tribe, Ryan getting
right.
Yeah. Yo, I don't know why y'all want to vote Ryan up. Like, yo, like, what about I'm making on 23 fish. Yo, like, it'd be good for me the next day, yo. Like, and it's less people, so I mean, I feel like you got to survive out there too, and that makes it an easier experience for your tribe mates. Also, to get through the game. People gotta, but the downtime is also just mentally nerve wracking because it's like it's literally you don't know what's happening, and then nothing's happening, and then you have to like you can't wander off. Like you can't disappear for like I'm having a bad day. Well, you can't take a 2-hour walk. Like 2 hours. Everybody will make up every single lie that you're going to go do if you're away for 2 hours.
You look for idols.
You would sleep in the woods. You could have fell in the woods, sleep. James out there looking for an idol. And that's the funniest part too, is that everybody looking for idols, but if you actually are deliberate about it, that's when it's wrong.
You like, too long.
You were looking for that thing. It's like, everybody is. Like, who's not? Like, I don't want to see that idol. Like, no. So,
I do want to know how you feel about Drew Basile or Basile.
Yeah. I like my man's decisive, yo. Like he was like, yeah, so we just gotta vote him out the game.
That was hilarious.
I love that.
I love an ally that's like really that decisive for my game.
Yeah.
Like they're really invested in getting me my second item. That would be my guy.
I feel like he can win though.
No. But not like because I think he's a good player. Like all the good players don't necessarily win. Being able to survive, like winning Survivor doesn't mean you're a great Survivor player. Like I mean, you one Survivor. Like a lot of people got championships. Don't mean they're a good player. Anybody wins Survivor. Yo,
I'm kidding.
Are you snoring? Is somebody snoring on you? Stop. Yo, man.
Keep going.
Should we talk about being a good player? What we talking about? I messed up again.
Basile.
All right, so I like his game. I just think he's too visible at the front of Reba. And if you're going to take a shot, it's going to be an Austin Drew type of shot. And Austin is protected to the high heavens.
Yeah.
I mean, Drew has some cover, but his cover may be at expense of a vote. So if he's at any situation where it's like a 3-3-2, and he's like peace, and then it becomes a 2-1, I think that may be a problem for him. But I like where he's at in the game. I feel like he's playing a very logical, smart game. I just wonder how him and Austin being so public. I just wonder how these 9 go-to tribal tribes are really going to be, because you haven't played Survivor until you had a vote about trust yet. Like, that's why Caleb and Emily are so far ahead, because when you're just voting on just numbers, like the Emily vote is a little bit of a trust builder, but Emily probably was like, I'm locked in with these dudes. They're bigger shields. Like Brando Kendra, I can't connect with that. I can't get behind that. Like, that's not something that I can go with long term. Exactly. These guys, though, that 2 of them actually make sense as a duo. It makes sense for them to bring you as a third. Regardless, they have to have 3 people in the alliance. Mm-hmm. Like you have to get to the end. So why not? Like, it makes sense.
Exactly. How do you feel about like Bruce? You know, this is his second time out here. You know, I mean, other than the beef with Katurah, he kind of, was running Bello a little bit, but now he's going into Merge on the bottom. Do you think he kind of has like the savviness to get to the end?
I feel like Bruce is trying to get the target away from him, and I feel like it's tough just because of 1, who he is. 2, I mean, from an age standpoint, I think he's still like the oldest guy out there. Like, you're trying to interact with people like a couple years younger than you, and he's actually perceived as a threat. Like, people don't think he's not capable, right? As opposed to people sometimes discount people in the game where we look at somebody like, you can't lose to them, or
like maybe them Julie, people probably are gonna see like that, like unthreatening, but with him, even though he's older, they still think.
Yeah, I mean, and he's a bigger guy. Like one of the bigger things to let us say in emerges, you gotta get those physical threats out. They can just, like, that's one of the great mantras that are used to get men out after the merge.
Yeah, for sure.
like one of the great, they're gonna balance their way to like that's not gonna happen. But depending on who you're playing with, if you have a bunch of people that are smaller, it's easier to say the small people, the majority. Yeah, let's get the big people. That's just how it works. That's how the luck of the draw is. But man, Austin got a chance.
You think Austin has a chance?
Him and Caleb, if they actually keep the shields and the votes,
because Austin has 2 idols now, or no, he doesn't.
He has one idol.
Kind of idol and a kind of idol again.
So, he can easily get that amulet. I feel.
Here's the deal: if you get Caleb, Emily, Austin, Katurah, Austin, and Drew, they could cakewalk to the end.
I was thinking Katurah. I was thinking the Emily and Caleb thing linking up with the Ree before, and then Katurah joining them too. I was thinking that that's a possibility. So at the merge, I think it could.
But you gotta estimate when you're building that post-merge alliance, who's getting cut out of it. So so that's how you gotta think, right? So Basil and Austin you're trying to get to your 7 and your 6, right? So you're like, bet we're gonna keep these Ree people close. Like, so Drew and Basil are gonna be like, we're pulling these guys in for votes. Yeah. But really, you're getting Caleb, Emily, Katurah. You have that 5 right there. And Katurah probably can pull whatever blue person she needs to pull in. Possibly. Caleb can probably pull somebody in. Maybe a Jake. I feel like Jake and Katurah don't have anything. Jake is not a threatening person. That's between, I think, Jake, that 6 right there. I feel like that's a solid 6 where they have all the information from most of the tribes and they can control the other people's votes. That's true. Austin and them have incentive to vote out Kelly and J. Maya, right? So this doesn't interfere with the amulet play. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm sorry, I may have thought about this a lot.
No, you're good. You're good. Because it's always good to get a mixture of people from different tribes so you can control the information like you did. That's what helped Shan and Deshaun and them, because people weren't thinking that Shan and them were going to link up with Liana from Luvu and then also Deshaun from it really helped them take control until
No, Shan just didn't say anything about that advantage, yo. Like, man, that was
that. I hated that. She was like, "Oh yeah, your advantage, right? You talking about it? Oh no, oh." That was hilarious. That was a hilarious moment.
Like, oh man, But those things happen, yo. Like when they slept up and
Yeah.
told Ryan to vote, like
Yeah.
Ryan,
Yeah.
they vote for James and Cass. Bet. We thought this was the case, but thank you.
Mhm.
Stuff like that happens on Survivor. It is like, it happens all the time. It depends on like if they show it, and those are the moments that we know as Cass, like when crazy stuff happened or conversations where like I really wanted to work with Janine. Like that conversation, I'm like, yeah, me and Janine locked in.
Yeah.
That next morning, Janine in the water, like we gotta get James out. But they don't show it. But no, but like
Mhm.
I'm a little sister too, love her to death. But it's like those things that are like the funny moments. But Austin has a chance. I feel like if who you align with, and if you can understand that you're going to align with some threats, and it's going to be a bloodbath at the end, but the key is to get to the end and have a chance. And if you're playing with players, play is going to happen. What you don't want is to play hard, and then you get to the end, and you're the minority with players you feel that weren't playing a good game. So you've been keeping them in the game.
Yeah, that's true. Do you have any like final thoughts or any more thoughts you just had about the season you just wanted to talk about, to be honest?
I love that players have the ability to make choices. Even from being able to choose, and then give you some ambiguity behind it. Even the first advantage where you could go and you had to play the game, but no one knew what you did. So you can lie a little, allowing you to use your creativity from a lying game standpoint. Like I feel like the more chances you have to do that, the better it is. I feel like this cast is really good. I love following and seeing what they're saying on the Instagrams and the Twitters. I really have no idea who's really going to win. I feel like
it's very equal, like cast, like even like D and maybe even Julie. I could see a interesting winner this season. Somebody who I wouldn't expect. And we kind of got this new era a few interesting winners. Honestly.
Yeah, we have. I mean, all of them been pretty interesting.
All of them.
All the winners have been interesting, and they all have been what you would say are kind of underdogs going into the merge. And so it's interesting to see, does a Caleb make it to, I feel like that's
I need Caleb to win. I would love if Caleb won it.
Can a Caleb get to the end? Can a Danny get to the end? Can someone that's like playing a charismatic game from start to finish really do it in
this new era? Yeah,
like
because it's the under the radar people who've really been making it towards the end. That's why it's really giving Emily. I see Kelly being a dark horse, potentially being at the end game.
Kelly was my winner pick, so
really,
I like her too. I picked her early.
I mean, when you look at Bella, I mean you look at Bella, strongest tribe, right? You're getting rid of everybody in front of her. You're not just getting in with Bruce. No one's trying to do that. Jake
can make somebody upset. Maybe it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to target Kelly before any of them, especially now that they merge. If you need to get Kelly out, you need to get Kelly out before they merge.
So was Sabaya wrong? But the only thing about Sabaya's thought process wrong is that everybody's gonna think about taking a shot at Caleb.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking with Caleb. Caleb is a huge target. I'm going to be surprised if Caleb can make it past this target.
I want him to.
He needs to. I would love that. I feel like he has the savviness. I do. I feel like he kind of seeing him hop around from person to person. He can really. I think he can do it.
The place he's going to be most vulnerable is that split 5 at 10.
I'm so over that.
Are they really going to do it?
They probably are. They've been doing the same thing.
That's when he's going to be vulnerable. Because I feel like he'll be able to maneuver and figure out votes from a person-to-person basis with the game. You go to that split 5, it's like opportunity shots and invite us from advantages.
It's a big, and that's the thing. Players who are good but targets, they can make it in the merge because there's so many people you can vote. I think when you do those small tribes, it makes it so hard for good players who are big targets to it's hard. They're right in your face. If it's Caleb, Kelly, Julie, and D, and they're all voting, bitch, Caleb gotta go.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate because it's not.
And I would freaking hate that.
It's just and it's luck. It's rocks.
So that's what I'm saying. If it's different where you're picking people to go against, even I feel like that gives you a different dynamic because this is coming. True. So now you're like, all right, bet if I got first pick, give me Cass. Or maybe give me Jesse. I know he got an idol in his bag. I got now this power. Exactly. Put Jesse on my tribe. I'm going home regardless. I'm good. I don't know. but I feel like this agency in general is just better in games. Like you see it everywhere, but I really like what production is. I feel like they took the best elements of all the seasons. We were all experiments, and, we were all
I kind of see that. I kind of see that.
I do like that. I see that too because this season it seems like it had. I like that they had the try swap. I like when they do the journeys. That I do like these decisions for the journeys better than the other ones. They were kind of making you do the wheel where you had to, or you didn't. That was stupid. So I'm glad it was just sandwiches or amulets. I mean, I kind of like it. It's kind of camp. I don't know.
And that was and that created tension because Austin, even the decision to at Jay Maya's decision. Yo, Austin, like we want to hear some information.
She exposed the fuck out of him.
If you choose me to go on a journey, the day of tribal council,
like, the day of tribal council.
You choose me to go on a journey.
I imagine that was Carla. Well, I'm going to choose James because he's going to
get all the information, of course. Like what? Austin's face was literally that.
Like, Austin wants to vote on Jay Maya. I feel like this. Austin dreams about voting on Jay Maya. Like, I don't know.
He was like, I'm not working for her, Merge. She gotta go.
I mean, so you have these natural decisions. That's why I feel like if you find the right group at Merge, I think that's the thing. Like, if you find the wrong group, you go down the wrong rabbit hole. You're like, we got this, and you get blindsided. We got this. You get blindsided.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you know. So,
yeah. Didn't you tweet that you loved the idol twist that they did?
I mean, I like this one. I feel like it is all agency.
The one Austin has, where you have to bank it, or the other.
Yeah, all of them had that. I think option is just that somebody banked it and got.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
I hate I always dislike the idol twist, but why did you like this one?
Because you have to properly understand where you're at in the game. Like anything that like shows that you understand what's happening in the game.
I like that.
Is like, and where your knowledge is of where you're at. It's like
it's challenging the players, and I think that's what's good about it. I do like that it's challenging the players. You have to make a good decision. You have to make the right decision because Sabaya choosing not to vote that round, I was like, what? Are you crazy? But it makes sense. She had to make a decision, and it made it more entertaining. But I think it's just, I don't know. I still miss when idols were just idols that they done.
or you have to use it that tribal, like your next tribal, like, yo, I'm playing the idol for my whatever, yo, like, because that's also a decision where it's like, I could play the idol for somebody else, and I'm choosing not to. You know, like if someone, it's like, because like you could choose trying to blindside somebody's your ally, especially on a smaller tribe. It's like you can then take those risks. It's like, all right, you gonna really go to rocks with this person? For 3 days?
Exactly.
You know, so like I like things that make things happen. You know, I feel like a lot of times people are waiting to use their idols. So like I got to my final 5 to use my idol. Like, and it's like, yo, like that's.
Or like you just go home with idols. They didn't even have an opportunity to think about it.
It's like, no, play them things, play them for your allies. Like if you got somebody you rocking with, play your advantages. Like rock them things out. Like there's no point in keeping them in. Because like, look, if your best thing you have is trust in this game. Like if there's somebody you rock with, Austin and Drew, they have a big advantage. Emily and Caleb, big advantage. When you've been through votes, they've been through votes. They're the only people that voted.
And they can build trust.
Yeah. So those 4 have voted and won. They already know how to do that. Organizing a vote is very, very hard. So those 4 can organize a vote. They got Austin and Caleb on both sides. Yeah, they tough.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, James Godfather Jones. You gotta say it right here. Who is your top 3? Who is your top 3 winner picks? And then we'll wrap it up. I want to know. You gotta say it. You gotta answer.
So winner, and this is now based on what I've seen on the show.
Okay.
I'm going Emily.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm going Julie.
Okay.
I like that.
Dark Horse. Tart.
Really?
I would love that. I would love that.
Here's rationale, right? I feel like once you get a certain thing, like I feel like one thing I could have did more is like play up, yo. She don't like me in the jury. They don't like me in the jury.
Yeah.
If you could be that person and you're alongside power, people are going to want to bring you to the end, like an anti-Gabler.
Yeah.
Like in the end where it's like, hey, people don't like her. She's instead, I know where her vote's going to be, and she's with me. So why would I get rid of her as opposed to You people have better relationships. So sometimes not being as liked is a marketable thing and someone you want to take to the end.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you can make it to merge. Because the issue is only, I feel like the type of players like Emily and Cass, they compare her, is the pre-merge. If you get out pre-merge, boom. But if you make it to the merge, I'm taking Cass the final three. I'm taking Emily the final three. So it's like, you're right. You're right on that. For real, for real.
I try to get those people out. People didn't listen to me.
Yeah. Because they're like goats, but really they have a chance. They're in the final three. Everybody in the final three, you can get them up.
The new game is get to the final three. So if anybody is a better option for other people to take to the final three, you got to get those people out before you're worried about people that can beat you.
Yeah.
That's at least my thoughts. But everybody's got different philosophies. But
yeah. I feel like I would, I don't know. Survivor seems way harder. Like I feel like I could play a Big Brother. I feel like I could not do a Survivor. It's just the strategy seems so much more intricate and random sometimes, and it shifts so quickly.
It only shifts based on the players and the people playing, right? Where you got you got window season, right? So window season, he wasn't the biggest. He had Seabass, Mike, Chris, like he had like 4 other big dudes that were like. So Wendell was playing a new era, level to death. He'd be like the 6'2" athletic bull.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
It's about the casting too.
It's just different. Like, and you have to be able to adapt to those things, like, and see how you can make out.
Yeah, that's true. All right, James. Where can people find you? Where you gonna be at? What other podcast you gonna be on?
So I'll probably be on Purple Pants podcast, shout them out. Instagram, J to the Jones, Twitter, J to the Jones. Also, going to be hopefully podcasting with Silent Podcast and Gia soon.
Yes, sir.
Probably do some RHAP things too as well. So stay tuned. I enjoy. I just want to say also thank you for letting me on your platform. It's amazing what you're doing. It was a revelation to see y'all when I was playing, to see two brothers making me laugh, looking at the games, telling me where I'm messing up. James, why are you telling me about this Yo, we trying to pull for you. We trying to pull for you, brother. We trying to pull for you, but you telling the enemy all your information. I was in the den with wolves. I don't understand. They was coming after me. So am I social? Probably so. But who knows? It could be a angry person, but no, like I applaud what y'all do. Keep doing what you're doing. Thanks for this opportunity.
Yeah, thanks, man. And
thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. We really enjoyed it. We enjoyed watching you on the show. Y'all go watch Survivor 43. Go see James wherever he gonna be. He gonna be all.
And hopefully we'll see you on Survivor 50 All Stars.
When it's All Stars.
Second chances too. Something. Heroes versus villains. I don't know. Something.
I'll be a villain. I'll volunteer. I'll go for it.
Yeah, y'all go check out James Jones and be with us every Wednesday. We go live right after the Survivor episode every single Wednesday. So check those out. And we're doing a lot of other shows, so check those out too. Follow us everywhere at T Reality Kingdom. And thank you for keeping it real with the Kingdom. We out.